All right. So now we've looked at organizational structure and we're going to be moving now into customer service. So we spoke about how we need to know that we have internal and external customers and how we need to make sure that our customer service is up to scratch. We also need to make sure that our organizations are structured in such a way that we are able to service our customers in the best possible way and be able to connect with them in a way that they need to be connected with. Because obviously, if we don't have customers, well, we're not going to have much of a business. So, what I want you to do is to go to your workbook, and in your workbook, you're going to have reference notes on value and customer service. And I really want to take you just to one diagram that I think is very important to note. So, value and customer service is the next section in your workbook, but I want you to go to this diagram. Okay, a very important diagram in business. So what you see is this circle is known as the core product. So if you are selling bread, that is bread. It is the flour, it is the water, it is the salt, it is the eggs if you put the eggs in the bread, and that becomes your loaf of bread. Now, if you were just to sell the loaf of bread, that would be your core product. And that is only 30% of the value of your product offering. 70% of the actual value of that loaf of bread is about other things. It's about things like was it delivered on time? What did it look like when it arrived? How did it arrive? Was it fresh? Um, how was it packaged? Did it look like it was that it had did it have information about it? Was it marketed right? Did we see it on TV? Have we seen our friends eat it? So that gives it even more value. And so 70% of the value of the product is not the actual product, but it's everything that surrounds the product. And I think we need to know that. So your core product is only 30% of its value, and everything that's surrounding the product, that's going to give you an extra 70% of your value. Now, if you look at a pair of shoes, if you look at a pair of shoes like what you would get at Ackerman's. I mean, they normally no-name brands, and so there's not going to be much surrounding it. Okay, so you're not going to be able to sell it for that much. But if you're selling a pair of Pradas, it doesn't mean that they are worth what you pay for them. They're worth probably 30%. The 70% is because celebrities wear it, because it is high end, because they have red soles, because you've seen it on Instagram, because of the way that it's marketed, about the illusion that you give to other people that you are successful. That's what gives Prada value. So 70% of the actual product is surrounding. So let's take a look at some surrounding, and that's going to be very, very important in customer service. So reliability. Okay, so if you buy a car, only 30% of the car's value is going to be made up by the actual car itself. But is it reliable? Will it get you from A to B? Will it last you for the next 10 years? Are you able to get the parts for it? Will you be able to get it serviced regularly and without breaking the bank? So reliability is a big factor in customer service. Responsiveness. So if something goes wrong, will someone attend to it? Is there good communication from them? Are they able to deal with your issues quickly? Competence. Okay, there's nothing worse than saying, hey, there's something wrong here, and the person that you're speaking to has no idea of how to actually sort out the problem and has no idea of your actual product. And so if there's no competence, well, then it deletes the value of that product. Access. Okay, if you can't get access to someone who knows something, if you don't get access to the product, then obviously there's no real value to it. So you need to make sure that there's access to the brand, access to the company, and access to the right people. Then courtesy. If someone is rude anywhere on the value chain, okay, then you're going to start to find that your value starts to diminish. So we need to make sure that there is always courtesy. So there's respect, consideration, and friendliness, and that's going to be a big part of your customer service. Communication, keeping people informed, letting them know what's going on, There's nothing worse than if you have something that is supposed to be coming in and you never hear about it until the last day and they say it's arrived. So a tracking system, a tracing system of being able to let you know what's going on. If there's a problem with it, do they let you know what's going on and how we are able to be sorted out? Communication is a massive part of customer service. Credibility. Okay, so if my car is blowing up constantly and I hear that on social media, well, the credibility of my brand is going to suffer, and therefore the value of my product is going to suffer. Security. Right, nowadays health and safety is a massive thing. So if I walk onto a premises in order to go and buy a product and I don't feel safe, there's no security, well, then the value will diminish. Understanding and knowing the customer needs. If there is someone who really knows what I need and it's almost like they can connect with me and they're thinking what I'm thinking, well, goodness, I'm going to find a lot more value in that brand. And then tangibles. So things like the physical evidence of service. So, if they service your car and then they clean your car and then they valet your car, well, then you tangibly know that someone has been working on your car. That adds to the illusion and the surrounds of value. And so read through this. It's very, very interesting about how value is actually made up. So it's called customer service. Just going to make sure it is. Value and customer service. Okay, so please read through that. And then after that, let's take a look. I just want to make sure that we got that. Then read after that what a customer wants. Okay, so that's also in your workbook. Okay, and after that, we're going to do the value test. So strategy workbook, value and customer service, then what customers want, and this is an interesting one. There we go. Another nice little diagram. We want the right price, we want good quality, we want excellent service, we want social recognition. So don't buy me a cheap Chinese, rather get me a good Italian brand and I'll be a lot more happy, and because people think I'm better. Innovation, obviously people buy Apple because they think it's very innovative. And then reliability. Don't let it crash on me, otherwise I'm not going to be happy. So all of that together becomes value for money. All right, and then you're going to do the value test on what customers want. Okay, so you read those two inform yous, then you're going to be doing your value test, and then you'll join me after that.